All right. Come on, buddy. All right. First thing we're going to do tonight is start from this position of the Rimiyashi Garando. All right. And right now, the name, if you can't remember, it's not important. I'm just going to make sure you understand what it looks like. If I ever call for straight ashi, this is what I mean. You might hear people talk about single leg X, but this is not technically single leg X. Single leg X would be when I take this that's hooking the far butt cheek and put it on the leg. We don't really do that. We're always on the opposite cheek in here, okay? So this position, hold on, turn that computer down. It's gonna drive me nuts. I hear myself. So this position, I've got a hip. You'll see my heel is in his hip and like on the quad here. I've got my shoelaces in the opposite butt cheek. And notice my hips, I don't want them down here. I want my hips up and like up here in the knee line. Ideally, the higher the better, okay? And then also, you're gonna be tempted with this position to want to just squeeze. That's not really where the control comes from. The control comes from hamstring curling this top leg, like pulling it, right? And then pushing with these shoelaces. So an extension and a pull and push. Okay. This is what gives you a lot of control. What I want you to do first is just practice getting into this position. So we're just going to start the most basic entry. That's in standing over me. I can plant, cup the leg, post, however I want. I can use him as an anchor, as the point to hoist myself up and into position. I want to shoot my hips high, and I'm going to like to get in on a Rimiyashi. All right. Far butt cheek, hip, and then we're curling down and we're pushing. We're extending. I'm not trying to like take him anywhere right now. I just want you to have tension there. Okay. Any questions on that? All right, let's get 5 of those apiece, and then let's add to it. We're gonna go like quicker pace. Okay. All right. 1, 2, 3.
What's that? Want me to go first?
Yeah.
Oh, sure. All right. Okay. All right.
So yeah, if I'm gonna shoot,
So you're in your, this one is,
and
that goes down, that one's.
like I'm not really into music.
Fine. Trying to keep that intact.
It's crazy how much control you have. Just
I don't know what the odds are. Yeah, it's kind of like.
I think he's pushing his ear up to
Yeah.
his ear. And it makes you wanna.
Yeah, so I had 2 guys, like, no, just who texted me, there's like, so
Down.
Or go to.
my leg, your left leg, behind, like my right. Like, get your hips up, or my right, get your hips up.
Yeah.
Your other
Yeah,
leg.
you have that more in my pocket. Yeah. Okay. So
Yeah, so right now, I just want you to always bring us up the guys guard over the area.
yeah, like your hamstring.
Up the hill.
It was like a little bit taller. There you go. That was control, like, so if you like really push up, like you're shooting your hips up. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
That's where me making the ball.
Okay.
John techniques like that.
Seems good. And then trying to keep it inlet your boat.
Want to do the reaction runs. Yeah, you gotta shoot your hips up. And he's gonna stay all the food wells.
And try to keep going to set.
I still have some.
I was, yeah, I was like, dude. Pay for that.
Yep.
Hips up,
Hips up.
get your hips up, it won't be as strenuous.
Okay.
Do I want to get up and then quit?
Yeah, like as quick as you can. Like quick, but like, you know. Yeah, it's the best way to do it. Like, you know how you do like leg moves?
Uh-huh.
You know, shoot your legs.
Yeah.
It's like that. So like you're, yeah, just like that.
There's a grab it, that,
Yeah, get your hips up a little higher.
One thing that really helps the receiver, I'll get the.
start like,
No,
Yeah.
this exercise will help you get your hips up.
Control there.
I like to think about stand.
That's because you
Okay.
Right here.
Yeah.
And it's super easy to just, honestly, like the higher my hips can get to his, the better. Like if I can get here, I'm in tight. Like he's definitely going down. I got both legs. But if I'm down here, I'm losing the knee line. And it feels like I'm doing a lot of ab crunches. But if I stay right here in a ball, if I stay balled up, and I'll let my feet loose. Or you can come up to each side.
Try to base out, and that's
I'm not sure why.
These are cool shorts.
Don't be afraid to really shoot under his legs. That'll let your hips get there.
Sorry.
All right, let's add to it. We're gonna keep doing this motion, so don't worry if you don't quite have it.
Okay.
I'm just gonna.
Give you the next piece. All right, so a good drill for this, actually, Hudson was demonstrating. You can actually float between bows just to practice. Actually, can you get off this one? Like even by yourself at home before class, whatever. I think we've gone over this a few times. But first off, just practicing getting your hips up, where I become a ball, bring my knees to my chest, and I shoot my legs straight. I bring my knees to my chest, and I shoot my legs straight. And I get my hips up off the ground and towards the ceiling. Okay. Now he comes over. It's the same motion, except now instead of just kicking straight up, I'm gonna have one. And this is important. Is it's not. I'm not bringing both knees inside. One knee is staying inside. The other one's coming out and around. Okay. So now it's the same motion, except instead of kicking up, I'm going to lean over on the side into the position. I can flip to the other side. Flip to this side. And you can get a drilling partner who's willing to stay there with a good base, like Hudson's doing, and you can run this for a minute at a time, just to get fluid with that entry. Well, we can keep going though. All right. So next, what I want you to do, I want you to continue practicing this. All right. Become a ball. Right. I'm bringing my knees towards my chest, but not both on the inside. Right. Splitting the legs. But I'm still, if you look at me, I'm becoming a ball. Okay. Next thing I'm looking to do is as I come up, I want to make sure he doesn't get this foot back. So I don't want to be lazy with this arm. I don't want it up here. I don't want him to be able to start working his foot out, right? Because he's going to start to peel that top foot and escape. So I want to give myself the best chance to slow him down so that I can actually work from here. Okay. So I want to make sure that I'm actually in on this foot. Okay. Our first sweep from this position is going to be the same entry. And then right now, I've got a pull and a push, right? To take him down, though, for this particular sweep, I see he's got like a shoulder width stance. He's not super wide with the stance. All I have to do is instead of pulling and pushing, I'm going to reverse it for just a second and tilt myself right there. Okay? I'm not going to go into the attack from here. But where we are right now, if I ever call for straight ashi or a rimi ashi or just ashi, this is what we mean. If I call for it, Nick calls for it, Chad calls for it in a tournament or anything like that, just straight ashi. Okay. We can set up our ankle locks from here. We can set up heel hooks from here. We can set up other leg entanglements. But generally, if we call for straight ashi, we're never going to be calling for single leg X. So if you've seen that on YouTube or other gyms, we don't ever do single leg X. They're always on the far cheek. Okay. And we'll go over this position more in depth in another class. So one more time. Once you get your hips up, focus on really getting your hips as high as you can. I want my hips as close to his hips as possible. Okay. I don't want to just be like this. See how I'm barely off the ground? My hips are barely off the ground because there's a couple reasons. One, I can't apply for a sweep. I can't apply nearly the amount of pressure to his center of gravity from the right angle to get him down. Secondly, even if you don't know anything about leg locks, that's okay. But general rule of thumb for almost all leg locks is I need his knee line. My knees need to be beyond his knees. My knees need to be closer to his hips than his knee is as far away from his hips. So right now I don't really have his knee line. Now I have his knee line. Okay. So if I'm setting up a sweep into a leg lock, I want my knees above his knees in relation to his hips. All right, so what I want you to do now, I know that's a lot, just giving you guys random information like I always do that's at least relevant. I want you guys to get your hips up. I want you to feel this chop down and then this extension. All right. Get a strong base real quick. I want to take it down with that initial touch. Right here. He might just fall because you came down like thunder, okay? But generally, especially if he's got we're not really going to be able to hit this particular sweep if he gets a really wide stance. Okay, we got another one for that. But on this, where he has more of a shoulder width stance, instead of having this curling and this extension, this push pull, I'm going to just swap him for a second and start leaning to my right. And then even before we're hitting the ground, I'm already back into where I was initially, where I'm curling with that top foot. I'm extending with that bottom foot. And it's not a ton of tension. Okay, you got to learn how to calibrate your tension or you're just going to get really tired, right? Because it's just a bunch of isometric, like straining the whole time. So you got to learn how to calibrate that. That's like just part of developing your jiu-jitsu and the feel for it. But we want enough tension to where he knows we're there. And we want to have commensurate, or I think that's the right word, commensurate tension to respond to whatever kind of tension he's given us, right? So if he's trying to fight out of it, I might elevate my tension in order to retain control. Okay. Any questions? All right. 1, 2, 3. You want to add anything to that, Hudson?
No, I think the only thing I'll say the thing that helped me the most with this is just playing the little game of like, I get you in here. This might help them get their hips up good. I'm trying to off balance you, but you're trying to strip my foot. So the second you do, I just switch to the other side. And then it goes until you either clear over me or I get the sweep. Okay. Or we could even go less than that. Just this guy off balances you, you can't use your hands, and you can kind of like build on the games like that.
I like that.
Okay.
Let's do that for one of the positions.
Yeah.
That'd be good. That'd be awesome. I'm trying to get down where we're going next is actually their hex guard.
Yeah.
But I think the most common way to
Get there is up.
it's like gastro.
Yeah. That'd be dope.
I get it there. I get it from like half of butterfly, half parallel.
Right.
Or since random scrambles. Where I got
Yeah.
So I'm looking for X a lot.
Yeah.
X guard.
Nice.
I wrote down my game plan for like bottom today. This actually goes off of like what I'm looking for. It's like as soon as I can get the Arabian sheet, I get you. I'm just gonna go angle first, but I'm baiting on you, trying to get help, and then I'm going for. Yeah, just like this hook.
Yeah, yeah.
And ideally, I'll probably throw this foot over. Yeah, I just got to look at it really on this toward him.
Without this.
Yeah, really just keep them eyes all. Yeah, but just as long as that's this is.
But if I clear this and I'm not sure.
Honestly, I didn't play with the
So if I strip it a little bit, still have it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're.
I guess I'm why it's often, I mean, it's always paired with the ankle lock, but that's, I mean, I haven't played with it much. I've only recently, the past probably month, been hitting it. But I just know that like that's a big reason. Like Mateusz Jasinski, if he went to B team, tapped everybody with it because he was doing that. Like they think they're safe. The ankle lock, and it's like, what gave you? Really just look at you and yeah. But I'm gonna try that. All right, let me feel it on y'all real quick. Get you down.
All right. Wait, just a second. Let's talk.
Okay, get more good grits.
Slightly extending, just tracking your shoelace.
Sit down. Bro, this is.
Not
This side.
take it down. Yes. I like to.
Here off, you just switch.
Yeah.
Short stick and ball the whole time. Yeah. I know it's a workout. Good workout though.
This someone was cheaper.
I feel yours.
Thank you.
I love the sauce there. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's on your bag.
Yeah. I gotta.
I saw a little.
Yeah, well, strip it. This is a bit complicated. Like, you know, skip this off.
That's the idea, then you're gonna grind back.
Feel that in my back. Still sore from Tuesday.
I'm gonna give it some.
Still gotta finish the series though, I want to see it right.
Yeah, when he was like a kid.
Yeah, I actually think.
Oh, yeah.
Trying to make sure you didn't.
I don't think any of the movies are canon, but they're good. Like, once you're done with all of it. It's kind of like the whole filler thing. It's like, if you skip the fillers, you should definitely like look to
Yeah.
go back to it when you finish.
That's just good stuff to watch. I thought one.
This one?
But you didn't do that in 300 or why?
Oh, really?
I don't think so. That's just what I do.
Yeah. Yeah, you get that.
Yeah, it helps.
So some guys, especially in the like, will strip this off. I like to ground and pound. I just
You're like, you're ready. Up in there, like it's shooting the hips all.
Yeah.
Did you see them, dude?
yeah, I got
Make sure you just keep.
All right, I'm gonna give y'all the next one. Hey, y'all can keep. We're just still building on this, so if you feel like you need more reps, you're gonna get more. So we're still going for our same entry. Okay, I've got my push and my pull. I go for this, but he reads with a big back step. He blades his body, so I can't take it that way anymore. I'm looking for that right there, that plant where the weight shifts. As he goes to plant his foot back, go ahead, go back, please. I'm sorry. As he goes to plant, I'm looking to drop
Yes.
Like the video cut out there for a second. I don't know what happened.
Real quick, one more time, just before you even go for the sweep. I just want to challenge you. Go ahead and get on file. Shoot it up. I want you to think about trying to get your butt into the back of this. He's already out. Yeah. That's a little thing, but like the more glued and connected you can be up here, and it's upper side, the better. But I just want to say that. Yeah. I see. Yes.
I was over anticipating.
Yeah.
Well, you stay there. Try that.
That's probably just like the initial biggest learning curve with like and techniques. How that's really tight. So this is a really good drill.
Oh, yeah, well, when, like, I just see it, like, I got to see, like. Yeah.
Really having to like.
Yeah.
Yeah. We don't have to. Maybe not kill, but so backwards, or as soon as you go back, then I when this one down.
Maybe like a little summer. I mean, they were. Okay. I'll try more. Okay. So.
Yeah. I'm gonna do that and break that down.
Yeah. Or you catch them.
But then,
Right here, I'm just controlling, right? Now I'm trying to.
Nice. That looks really good.
Step back.
and when I'm doing that,
Yeah, I'm still trying to take you that way.
to get you to go backwards, I'm still. That. That's what my next goal.
Let me do it. No, we're gonna just get a couple more.
Yeah.
We're gonna end something.
My eyes are moving out.
I'm gonna get you my one more.
Yeah.
There we go.
Push pull, but out.
Yes.
Just not feeling that.
Don't worry, it's gonna
So, even my hips. That makes it even harder.
Who's going next?
Let's see where.
Oh, that.
You want to stay really tight inside the lean.
Like handling my legs.
You get it. Get comfortable.
That's an awkward transition.
Yeah. Bring that. Yeah. Because it takes to get used to.
Yeah.
Learn how to stay there. Right underneath.
Trying to breathe out as I go down. That's not automatic.
Nah, we did like a whole list. All the big people.
Strip that top.
It's just Tipping's kind of hurt. Yeah.
That's up.
Same.
Are you gonna strip my feet?
Yeah.
You're skating. It's like the ice.
Yeah, I was like, they use that.
I mean, each.
Gosh.
Where's the repair?
Hey, doing?
There's gonna be some. We're trying to get out.
Right.
For the most part, you're just trying to stay out.
Fire. Also, right here. I do. Right here. I feel like you could take your hand in. Might be right. Right.
I feel like
This one, right.
Oh, it is.
No.
So right here, that's the staple, right? So you bump me for it.
Yeah. You start to go your hand out. Right there is where I felt the wind under. So you gotta figure out how to slow it down.
Minute you bring in your elbow. I don't think you thigh a little. Sure. I think I've seen you.
That's right. So how do you my knee now?
So what am I doing with your knee?
You want to come up and cut my knee and take my grab.
Let's see. To this side?
Yeah. Well, no. On the other side. Sorry. I'm trying to figure out. It's just like I get my knee out. Maybe you can't shut it down, but I'll.
for you.
The connection's better.
Now you trap. Something to.
Yeah.
Right.
When I get here, just.
Each one that here. That's
We keep this tight.
I was kind of figuring out and drill that. Being able to pinch down.
Yeah, I feel pretty confident doing that.
Let me see if I can. It seems like more like the people thing. Instead of.
Yeah, that's, I think that's even for you. It's junk carbon.
That was that's like.
I'm gonna stop.
Yeah.
Is this
I'm not sure.
It's like straight right.
Where I'm going, I might get my.
Hey, Joseph.
Yeah.
I got a question.
Yeah.
Like this is relevant.
No, it's not big.
So we were all. I got sitting like this here. Yeah.
This is synced on my
They, I got for like this. For that here.
The first thing we have, well.
This one, I just didn't realize it was like this.
What's up? How are you? Doing good. Well, that's. Yeah, it's.
Yes.
All right, we're gonna add to this in a second, y'all. Y'all get a couple more.
I did, but I was. A lot of.
Yeah.
They have, they like, right out, they try to put like. Students are probably gonna say like. It's one of the, they're seeing like I'm. It's hostile. Yeah, I'm trying to come up with the same. I'll get it. Yeah, I'm gonna. We can practice doing it for the Sunday. Like randomly just hit one leg.
Okay.
Like training. I've had that in like 2 years. So you like, yeah, they just want to so snag them. You're just leaving the cowboy.
Yeah.
Yeah, real tight.
You know, out.
Okay.
Really just.
Yeah, and I guess I would just wait it out.
Let's keep the pressure ears.
The rolling helps. Like,
You can work on it. I don't want to like keep you out.
No, man.
I
I
didn't
didn't
get
much of a.
Oh, sure.
I'm still recovering from Tuesday. So
You see if you get pushing right here.
I'm sure. You ready to the car?
No, this is super.
All right, y'all. Let's keep going.
That's the app.
Is it anybody feel like you're struggling? Got questions? Okay. All right, so next part of this flow. Same entry, but instead of going for the sweep, his job is always when I get into this position he's always going to be looking to peel that top foot off. Okay, before I'm able to take him anywhere, start working anything. Look at what this opens up though. Immediately, so to the inside, then we're at X guard. Okay, so one more time. He goes to strip that foot. You notice I post on the knee just for a second, right? So this was on the butt cheek. Let's see if I can do it slow. I'm on the cheek and the hip. He goes to strip. I post on the knee. This naturally slides down because I'm falling. He pushed my foot off, gravity. But I can pommel this inside and get to the hip, and now I'm at X. All right. From here, we're going to work a wrestle up tonight. But before I do that, I want to talk about a few more details of X guard. All right, and philosophize a little bit more on X guard. So first off, the reason I like X guard, and the reason a lot of people like X guard, is because it slows the game down. Right, typical styles of passing. Like if I'm just playing an open guard and Hudson's passing, right? Go ahead, just pass my guard. Right. You see how much I'm having to work? See how much I'm having to work? I'm having to move a lot. Over time, this gets exhausting. I know because Hudson and I had a match in August, and I had to move a lot, and I got tired. All right, but or body lock passing. All right, now I'm having to carry this guy's weight. He's pressing into me. I'm having to carry his weight, my diaphragm. Okay, or other forms like J camping, I'm having to carry this guy's weight with my chest and my arms. Okay, all forms of guard, like I'm still retaining a guard there, but way more taxing. Versus here, I'm chilling, right? I got tension in my legs, but I'm not having to move around so much. I'm not having to like death squeeze, right? I can respond with an appropriate amount of tension based on what he's doing. And I get to carry him with the strongest parts of my body, the legs, right? Doing extension, what they were designed to do. His hips are over my hips. My hips and my legs are very strong, way stronger than my arms. Okay. And it's way less taxing than me having to carry him with my chest, carry his body weight plus gravity in my chest and my arms. So that's one major advantage of X guard. The second major advantage of X guard is you'll appreciate X guard, right? Yeah. Because also all of us are one day going to be old like Nevada. Right?
That's right. It's okay.
And
What happened to you?
we're not gonna be able to move around as quickly as we used to. I already start to feel that. I can't imagine what 40 is gonna feel like. Right?
Just wait.
But like we're not gonna be able to move that quickly, explosively. Slowing the game down that's like a timeless strategy. Okay. And if you see a lot of the best guys that we like to follow, that's their style. It's like Nick talks about being a wet blanket all the time, just like old man style, like super heavy, not super explosive, just always working to limit the other person's mobility, not necessarily trying to be super mobile ourselves, just control. So that's number one. Number two is X guard allows me to control the space between his knees, which makes it easy to off balance him and start offensive sequences like leg entries, right? So it becomes easier for me to take his knees apart. We've been running this drill all week where we get their hands to the mat, right? I can make his feet far apart from each other. Okay. And he's on me right now, but I'm able to carry this weight with my legs much more effectively. However, I don't want to carry it forever, which is why the main goal of X guard is get the hands on the mat. Because now he's carrying his weight. I don't have to have nearly as much tension in my legs, and I can stay here for a much longer amount of time than just under him. All right. This is also one of the spots where like we never just like hang out in most positions, but I can comfortably stay here for a while. He's the one that's in way more pain right now. He's having to hold himself up. Okay. More on X guard. Hudson's mainly the only problems he can really create for me if I'm doing all things right is really with his hands. Okay. He can start trying to untangle my hooks, both, whatever. He can start to back step or whatever he wants to do, right? His threat to me is his hands. So by me getting his hands to the mat, this opens two doors. One, it negates his ability to shut my X guard down, makes my X guard much more potent, right? It takes away his primary defensive mechanism. Secondly, it opens up all the offensive opportunity for me, right? Because almost all of not all, but a lot of the offensive opportunity from X guard is going to come while I have his hands on the mat and his weight on him, and I'm able to start sweeping or entering the legs or taking his back or whatever it might be. Okay. It's a lot. That's a lot. Does anybody have questions on what I just said? Yeah.
So with X guard, are you starting out in that position, or is it up to you to get yourself into that position?
It's going to be up to us to get there,
Okay,
right? So
start out like that.
So there's several ways that you will intentionally or sometimes accidentally find yourself in X guard.
Okay.
Okay, but like I just gave you one,
Yeah.
which is what we're about to drill, where we were in straight ashi, and he strips the leg, and I bleed through. Now I'm in X guard. Okay, and I might find myself in ashi. Like these are all forms of open guard, which means as Hudson and I are playing, I might find myself there in straight ashi and then in X. Okay. So that's open guard is not like there's I can give you a lot of doors to X guard, but you're never gonna start there to answer your question.
Okay.
If you don't post up on the leg whenever you go like switch to X guard, can he just step over?
Well, possibly. Oh, so you're saying as he strips and I don't do this?
Yeah.
So two things. One, if he just sprawls his weight down right now, like it's gonna be hard for me to get my foot through. Secondly, go ahead and stay right. If I don't post on the leg, because I was here and I'm falling, good. It's really hard for me, like because I'm falling, I need something to be able to quickly spring back up and get my hips up. Okay. So that's one. This is like an anchor.
If you're staying, sorry, real quick, if you're staying concave, that's why I say a spring is like if you're doing the right thing, staying balled up, you're just gonna rock into these different guards. Like it's gonna be if you're flat.
Versus.
Yeah.
Watch my shoulders right now.
Like I can start to walk around him. He's not even coming back in yet. But if you're bald and you're going like that's gonna help you transition a lot more.
Become a ball. We say it all.
Yeah.
Literally every week we say become a ball. All right. So here's your drill, and then we'll do the wrestle up. I don't want to do it all at once. So all right, we're gonna go here. He's gonna look to strip. I'm posting and I'm weaving. Right. This also allows me to keep my hips up somewhat, so not even have to fall all the way back down. That I don't know if y'all saw that. My hips never actually touched the ground there. And now we'll be here. The next thing I want you to go ahead and do to add to this drill is with X guard. We can play this overhook, but I really like most of our offense is going to be enabled by us getting a scoop grip under the leg. Okay. So what I want you guys to do, get a different angle here. Okay. So as he strips, first thing I want you to do, top guy is going to go to start stripping stripping the feet however he wants. Now look, when he starts stripping his feet, go back before you start stripping feet. he has good posture. Right now he has his center of gravity is up here. Start stripping the feet. Watch his head. Now his head is moving forward, which means he's already doing a little bit of the work for me, right? So our most basic, the first thing we do, I can't just do this. I can't take my arm like this and just come out and around. Like there's no way. Like he's gonna kick back as soon as that window opens up and there's no more X guard. Okay. So I need to get his hands on the mat first. I need to off balance him. Okay. So as he brings his head forward, he starts playing my feet. This is where I'm gonna look to extend and tilt. Okay. While we're here, while his hands are on the mat, I'm gonna look to reach up and cup the knee pit and bring my elbow towards my my far pocket here. This is to prevent, if I don't do this and I'm here, prevent him from taking his knee to the mat. Okay, so we're gonna pinch our elbow down. This is gonna make it difficult for him to take his knee to the mat. Next, this is gonna come out and I'm gonna swim knuckles up at the ankle and I'm gonna look to elevate to my trap and grab my claw grip right there. Okay. And now we can start playing our game. This is where I want you to stop for this drill. And then we'll move on. So one more time. We enter straight ashi. He's going to strip. I'm going to start X guard. He's going to go to strip again. I'm going to extend my legs and tilt my body or tilt him using my knee as I extend my legs. Next thing I'm looking to do, I'm going to grab the knee pit, bring my elbow towards my pocket. Okay. And then I'm going to come out, knuckles up to the ankle, and I'm going to swim up and bring his foot to my neck, my trap. And then my elbow, I told y'all wrong the other day. My elbow is not pointing to my pocket here. I want my elbow to be in line with the kneecap. See, you see it creates a shrug here too.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be very difficult for him to bring his knee away from me right now. All right, and we'll stop right there. Any questions on that?
Why do you say knuckles up, and does it matter if it's knuckles down or knuckles up when you swim under?
So get it here. If I try to go palm down, you're gonna I don't know how you're gonna do it. You're gonna end up having to come out super wide like this, because look at my hand. I can't.
Yeah, you could.
My elbow is touching his foot. His foot's in the way. I can't go supinated. I have to be pronated.
Okay.
Okay. So if you're trying to go palm up, you're probably gonna compensate and try to come out and around like this, or try to push him up or something. And we want everything to stay super tight on the knee so that we can retain control of this knee. But it's always going to be possible for you to take your hand and swim knuckles to ankle and circle up. Okay. Other questions? All right, 1, 2, 3.
Starting off.
I can see they're just gonna break. Yeah, that's right. I was thinking about it.
Is that what your question was? Is that like how it's start? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
That's weird. Yeah, a lot quicker than really.
Yeah, you want to stay.
Eventually. This here, this foot just windshield wipers. So if you try to just get it back real quick. Yeah, that's what you're looking for. Down. So like on the hip, go ahead and get connected. I'm looking to down for your, that's when you extend, push my ass to the mat. And now overwrap this. Yeah, connected so I can't get half down. Let go. So exactly perfect, man. Was good. Let's try it a couple more times.
I'm taking it to my pocket. Nice little.
Like pretty early on, right?
Well, just like here, so like get to the night. So when you get there, and you can still crash on that knee, and you guys.
Because I was able to say, if he goes handles your feet, then you're gonna see it. Oh, thanks, feet. No, you're right.
Oh, that was wrong.
He's gonna go untangle your feet again, now you're next. But you're waiting on him. As he goes to untangle the feet, he brought his head forward, now you extend it, extend your leg until. Take this leg. Yeah. Like, make it take a step.
Instead of even up.
Or am I not getting to the
Feel your head, so when we tilt it.
Like,
Now he's trying to be working out, you're not good. Yeah, now take your out, it's just your ankles, and we got it apart. Yeah, so put your head, almost like you're really. And then see how you brought it to your head, and then you need to start to the beginning, and just hold it down, so it's super tight.
Well, if you lose it,
So now you've got your left hand freeze, but what he's doing,
try.
stay, you're trying to training with your head, keep it out and doing the sweep. But now you're in.
I'm in the. It seems right. How it's in there.
So. Yeah, you should really keep it. Your elbows too far.
Alright, just down. Like, you're seated. So instead of just being here, just for context and like actual role, I always want to be here first. So I'll just approach you. So I'm not being disciplined. Square on you, that's what you overreact, pull yourself down. Sorry, I stepped out a little bit. There you go.
Stay wherever we are.
I need kind of fun doing
It's good. Now you can actually use all your points.
So I had to go super slow.
Like, you're like you starting to fall off of it.
Yeah.
Use all your hooks to get back under it. Just play with it, figure out something. That's, you have
Just do that motion a couple times.
I get caught up in some of those bushes around the house. And I actually might just go out. I gotta wear like nice clothes for them bull, and then like at the first house I'm like, I'm here guys. 20 days or so. What about you? Really? Right.
Yeah. Go to your elbow on that. What's the priest doing there?
Well, priest sits around all day talking to me and doesn't get any physical exercise. And I happen to be in the same coffee shop.
And then stay.
You know, it's trying what's there.
To your side. It's like, I'm up on my head and watching the post on the exercise. Like,
Schedule it, stuff it, hockey.
So.
That's the ball. It's somebody with officers.
Drops out.
alright, you're gonna untangle side, you're gonna extend it until go.
It seems like a lot of the time. I'm pulled here, now, trying to go back to that.
What's that?
Is this a good sign? I mean, if there's a space where you don't have to bring it from the back.
I just.
I always do it.
Yeah, it's Peter. He's probably gonna try to see.
I don't play a lot of extra, to be honest. I play a lot of option. Sort of match it up versus 2D.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's,
Yeah.
I think when you are short, like, not that much.
Yeah. So much just like emotion.
Yeah.
If your right foot's gonna go on top of your. Oh, okay. Your left US is in the left more.
You're pretty low. You can see like, that's one thing, real quick. That's one important thing.
Stay up and I.
Okay. Okay.
It'll help. So much more.
It's so important. If I can bring you here. Just like, go as high as I want,
Oh, okay.
but the less that I pull,
Use that right here.
Okay.
so now I'm like, yeah, like, the deeper you go, the better. Yeah, exactly. And then you might just like knocking forward, and you can just go belly down, ankle locks, like you go back. It's like you go forward. This was the strongest ankle lock you can do. So there's really no reason not to just fully commit to that fully fast. See, like, it's mine. Just shoot up. What did you do? Yes, back up 1 foot off the bat. Yeah, it's like, yeah. Keep it down here. Yeah, it's more. Yeah. Yeah, we're like. Yeah, it's technically.
Hey, let's cap off class with some details. Y'all can swap and keep going if you like.
All right. So let's talk about a little more X guard just details again. Y'all can drill some more in math if you want to, but I'm gonna spend the last 4 minutes just talking about some more concepts here. So first off, I want you to think about the grip I'm making with my legs comes from my shoelaces, right? We've talked about this already a little bit. Let's see if we can see it a little. Good here. All right. So right here, a rule of thumb I'm going to give you is I don't want there to be daylight between my shoelaces and his leg. Okay. You see, like right now, if we were to turn it just a little bit more, see how there's daylight right there? Right. I want there to be no daylight. Okay. I want it to take him. He's going to be able to strip it if I stay here long enough and do nothing. But I want it to take longer than this. This is easy. Even if I try to resist, it's way easier because he's got the end of the lever. He can grab my toes and he can start to press down. But here, he's going to get it, but it's going to take him a lot longer. Okay. So I don't want there to be daylight there. I also don't want there to be daylight between my toes and his leg down here. Okay. And I told y'all wrong the other night. Your shoelace placement doesn't have to necessarily be in the knee pit so much as we do want to make sure there's no daylight. It can be deep sometimes, especially if he's really persistent on backstepping. I might need to go deeper to keep my toes over there so that I can really control him. Okay. But so I was wrong to say it has to be in the knee pit. Like if anything, that actually is wrong. Like it's actually better to be a little bit beyond. Okay. But what I don't want to happen is there'd ever be daylight with either of these shoelaces. Secondly, like I already said, this grip can be overhook, and a lot of times we might have gotten here from straight ashi, and so we land here. We have to make that transition, but ideally we want that underhook scoop grip to actually start to get offensive. But when I have weighted legs, it's going to be really difficult for me to make that transition. So I don't want to make that transition to a scoop on weighted legs. Way too hard. Okay. Next, on the scoop grip, I don't want to be below the knee because he can take his knee to his chest. Go ahead. Just he just pulls it out. They have nothing stopping him from there. I want to be above the knee. I've got all 5 fingers. I've got like closed palm, like closed fingers, making like a little monkey grip, little claw grip, and I'm right over the kneecap. Okay. This makes it harder for him to take his knee to his chest. Okay. Next, I always want there to be tension in my knee and my hook. Okay. I don't want this to just be lax. I also don't need it to be squeezing. Like, I don't want to waste energy. Okay. But I do want there to be tension. I want him to know I'm here. Okay. And then there will be, as he resists, there's going to be more tension, right? Obviously. But that's why I'm looking at his hands on the mat. Because now when our hands are on the mat or his hands are on the mat, I don't have to have nearly the amount of tension in my legs because now he's holding all that weight. Okay. Lastly, when we do this off balancing, a lot of the offensive sequences we're going to keep drilling come from those hands being on the mat. And the primary way I'm going to do that is the off balancing we've been doing all week. When we do this, though, I want to make sure, ideally, like, he's not just going to stand there, right? We're talking right now. Okay. He's going to look to start dealing with X guard. He doesn't want to just stand there. Okay. I'm looking for that motion where that head comes forward in any way, even if it's just slightly. Okay. Because like he's going to start trying to untangle my feet. His head's coming forward, whatever it is. I'm looking for that. That's my cue right there to start extending and tilting my body. And notice when I say tilt, this is all I mean. I don't mean come all the way over. Okay. I just want to be able to tilt over like this. Okay. I'm kind of on my hip here, but I'm not getting to like a 90 degree with my shoulder line ever. Okay. Because then I'm gonna risk losing this split and not have to go somewhere else. Okay. So I want to stay here. What's the other thing I want to cover?
The rest of the.
Oh, we're not gonna get there tonight, bro. Sorry. Maybe Saturday. There is one other detail I wanted to cover here. Let's see. Looking for the head, extend and tilt. And oh, right. This with the scoop grip, like it can be down here on the arm, but this is never going to be ideal because now I'm having to carry more of his weight on my arm. If he's resisting, I'm having to like really take a lot more of his weight on my arm. It's way more taxing. I want his foot, if we were to turn here, it's all the way around. I want his foot in my trap where I can shrug. You see how as I bring my elbow to the proper position in line with his kneecap, it kind of naturally makes me want to shrug to retain this. Okay, this is much better. Also, as we start to do the wrestle up, which I think Josh, I think you've seen it before, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So as we start to do that, we definitely want it on our shoulders because as I start to do this wrestle up here, I want to be able to carry his body weight or carry his weight with good posture here on my shoulder. I don't want it to be in my arm. It's just gonna fall out. I'm gonna lose the knee this transition. Okay. Any questions? I know it's a lot. Please rewatch class if you feel like you're missing some of those details. Because I don't want to just sit and give you the same details over and over. But these details are what's going to make the difference in getting it on me, Nick one day, God willing.
He's at the nursing home just next door.
I'm not going to give him a break. I don't care how old he is. All right. Any other questions or comments, insults? All right.
No, I like to wrestle up. That was.
Yeah,
We'll use that now.
maybe do that Saturday.
I think
if not,
we
we'll do
tried it before we did it last week with X guard. Cause I remember that, like where you get them up and then you kind of like, you raise up with it. It was like you faked, where you had them fall down and then as they stood back up, you kind of rocked them forward.
And then you pull.
Did we wrestle it?
Yeah,
Did we already do that?
yeah.
Sorry, dude.
No, it's good.
Long days, man.
very long days right now.
Most busy time of the year for you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Mike, do it again.
I think it was last week.
Good night. 'Cause if I don't remember it, I probably taught it pretty.
I
poorly.
don't remember it last week, but I remember it way back.
I know we did. Yeah, we did it long, like months ago, earlier this year.
It may have been like
But,
one thing you showed at the end of class. but
Okay.
I just remembered.
Okay. Well, we're gonna do it again Saturday or Monday, and then we're gonna get into some new sweeps. We'll get into some leg entries. And let's see. I'm gonna be out the 12th through the 20th. So, Josh, if you would like to teach your first class, please let me know. 'Cause I would love to see that. Hudson, if you're up here for
Yes.
one class, like that'd be great. Between Hudson and Chad, maybe Josh, they should hold the fort down. I'm going to Disney Town, so.
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna start the clock, and if y'all want to keep drilling this, feel free. If you have questions, I'm here. I'll be here till 7:30 probably because the videographer's coming to do some. He's gonna do some more filming, so if he walks in, just be cool. All right.
I really like that video that you made, that you put on the WhatsApp.
On the WhatsApp.
Yeah,
Oh,
it was
like a few weeks ago.
Yeah.
That was him. So he's making another one tonight. So
He
just
did
be
a
cool.
really good job. So
Yeah, he did. He's really good. I also put in WhatsApp today the details on our Dirty Santa tournament. It's Monday. What's up? It's Monday. Or a Monday. I think it's going to be on a Monday, but I will confirm that. The date is the only thing that's TBD. I think that's the date, but I need to make sure videographer can be here because one of the big goals is to make like a good evergreen YouTube video for it. So we're gonna play with the lighting and stuff tonight. So if the lights go out while you're rolling, don't be alarmed. We're playing with the lighting.
submission.
Aliens first, not for everything.